My name's Paul Nicklen, and I could not be more excited to be opening a conservation gallery in New York, in Soho, called the Paul Nicklen Gallery, and it's a gallery dedicated to conservation. I've been shooting for National Geographic magazine for 20 years. You know, I've been lucky to be on Instagram and have 3 million followers. I have access to National Geographic's 500 million followers, but nothing in life feels as good as hanging your art on the wall to be big and beautiful. And all the work I try and do is art, science, and conservation. I want my images to be beautiful. I want the image to transport people into a cause I care about. I want them to learn something scientifically about an issue. And also, ultimately, I want people to care. I want to break down the walls of apathy. The funding, the money we raise from this gallery is going to go back in allowing us to do more of our conservation work. This is New York, leading a collective of the best storytellers in the world, continuing to produce this content that's essential to connecting people to important causes. And every 6 weeks I'm going to be bringing in a new artist to use up half the gallery to talk about their mission, their goal, their work, their research, their photography. And this is such an important cause, and we need to keep the conversation going on. We have one planet and we've got to protect it.
Let me ask you a quick question. How have you already curated all your artists, or are you still looking for submissions?
I'm still looking for artists. I've got, I'd say, out of the 8 that I'm going to bring in this year, we have about 5, so we're looking at a few others, but you have to have a heavy conservation focus to their work, whether it be shark finning or the ivory trade. It's not all depressing. It's, again, it has to be beautiful and emotive and thought-provoking and powerful, and it also has to have a mission. It has to inspire. It has to create change.
Okay. Now I have to ask this for our editor. Our editor's Canadian. He's gonna love your story. So I want to encourage him anymore. So talk to him about Canada. What's your favorite part about it? Now keep in mind he's from up north of Toronto. So.
Well, I'm not trying to one-up him, but I'm proud that he's from Canada. But I grew up on Baffin Island, up by Greenland, in the high far north, in a community of 190 Inuit people. Learned to speak the language, and we, lived out on the land and hunted and fished, and now I lived in the Yellowknife and then the Yukon, and now I live on Vancouver Island, British Columbia. But incredibly proud to be Canadian. But as a Canadian, to think someday that you can have a gallery of your own in New York is unthinkable. So the fact that we're doing this night could not be any more cool. We're really proud, really excited, and it's for a good cause, and the turnout has been insane.
So the great thing about it is you're really living the Canadian dream in America.
However you want to say it. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm a Canadian who's very proud to be embraced by New Yorkers, let's say that.
Yeah, very right. And you like the city?
Love the city. I'm having such a great time. I mean, there's more people, and I think in New York and all of Canada, so but everyone's been very warm and receptive and kind and helpful, and people are really generous.
Yeah, and Canadians, what I found, they travel like crazy. We were just in Honduras. The very first English speaker I met made the joke. He's like, I guarantee you 90% of all the English speakers you meet from this point are going to be Canadian, right? And I thought it was a joke, right? He was serious. Yeah. So
you travel a lot. You got to get away from the ice and the snow once in a while and come down and check other places out. But
that's exactly what they're saying. Okay, so anything else you want to close with, or I think we had a great.
I'm really proud, and thanks so much for this interview. What a great chance to talk about it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for talking what's happened in the travel.